Hello and welcome to the Femmes in Focus. I'm here today with my co-host
Phoebe McHugh.
And I'm Rachel Rigby, and we're here to talk all things feminine and just have a really good yap.
Which is what we need.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been due. Like we need to catch up.
We have our catch-ups on FaceTime, but
Yeah.
it's nice to actually be in person having a chat.
Yeah.
It's what we need.
It's if I can talk today, I feel like I'm obviously very tired. So we actually are going to talk about anxiety. So, you know, me, who can relate?
Where do we start?
Yeah, where do we start? How old were you when you realised that you had like anxiety?
I think it was secondary school.
Yeah.
Because when you get into secondary school, there's that massive change in your environment and everyone's sort of at different levels. And when you're thinking, do I fit in, do I not? I think that's where it started for me.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I feel like my mum especially didn't want to believe it. Like,
no, I relate on that. I feel like it's parents are like, you're fine. It's just part of growing up. You feel this.
Yeah.
And then when you're actually feeling the feelings of anxiety, you're like, why is this happening to me?
No, definitely. Like, I remember being in like year 7 and that was when it really started because like there's a few girls in my year that just weren't that great, to be honest.
Yeah, teenage girls, just girls in general.
Yeah.
They're not very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're both girls, but we can say that.
I think definitely you can ruffle feathers.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like the pecking order thing. I think we definitely had those.
I was down the pecking order at school. I just wanted to do my own thing. I wasn't there trying to impress anyone because I was like, there's no point in not being myself to impress other people.
See, I was friends with these people. Like, this is what doesn't make sense to me. I was friends with these people, but one person that I'm thinking of in particular were just really nasty. Like, even
Just
like,
to you or to like everyone?
No, just in year 7. Well, she could be mean to some people, but like year 7, like
you're 11. Do you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, how do people? I look at it now and I just think, how can people be mean at the age of 11?
I know.
Because it's like, I mean, now when you're an adult,
You look back and you think, oh my God, like, this is what people went through. And like, I do apologise if I ever made anybody feel that way.
100%, because we all sort of brush past. We take in the feelings that other people are mean to us.
Yeah, and then
but we don't ever account.
Yeah, that we can do it to other people, and then you don't realise when you're younger. But no, I started then therapy when I was about 14.
I started therapy. Yeah. My therapist was called Tim. Great guy.
Mine was called Ken, and he used to ride a bike.
He used to ride a bike. Mine liked football. He was a Newcastle fan. So whenever
was
I
he
started,
Geordie?
Yeah, but he lived in Wilmslow. So
no way.
It was in COVID though when I started therapy, because I was for a while. You know when you don't want to go to therapy because you're just thinking, I don't need therapy, I'm fine. And then I did go in COVID and it was on Zoom and he'd always start to go, so what do you think of the result at the weekend? And it was when City won everything. So I was like, yeah. And it didn't feel like, the conception of therapy is that like, you sit there, you sob, you cry about your feelings, but you actually just, it's an open space to talk about what you want.
No, definitely. Like, I think people obviously get this idea that it is just you sit there and you trauma dump, but you know,
I did my fair share of that, to be fair.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember though when I was part of CAMS, which was obviously the children and adult, like young adult, whatever it is, mental health service, then they changed the name to HIMS. I remember, Healthy Young Minds Service. So they changed it from like.
Is it called that now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was still called CAMS.
No, I think it's still called HIMS. I don't know. Something
I'll have to look
along
up those lines.
But I remember the guy being like, yeah, there's a polar bear sat at the door. Like, you can see it, can't you? And I thought, no, I can't.
Was it like a metaphor for something that you're supposed to feel?
Yeah, but then he was like, if I tell you to look at the door and there's a polar bear sat there, you'll be able to see it. And I was like, and he was like, can you see it? I just said yeah to go along with it because I couldn't be bothered anymore.
Along. There's a polar bear there. Yeah, I see it.
And I was just like, what? And then I just found, like, especially my family, because it was quite, not taboo, but it was quite a taboo thing back then. Like, I think now, obviously, we are talking a lot more. It's nice, like, you know, it's nice to be able to have people that do understand, but I think there still is that stigma. Can't speak. I was going to say sigma.
Sigma male.
Sigma. Yeah, I think there still is that especially I can't even bloody talk today. Stigma. I think there still is that stigma there.
I talk to my mum more now that I'm older.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I didn't want to. I mean, sometimes I still don't want to now, But I feel like if I actually have a problem, my mum would be one of the first people I go to.
Yeah.
But also I'd go to my friends because I'm like, because we're similar ages, I feel like it's more relatable now, especially with everything that we all kind of grow up around. I find it easier to talk to my friends than my family.
No, definitely. Definitely. I think, you know, your family know a different side of you.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that's how I like to keep it. Like, my
A
family know
completely
one
different
side.
version.
Yeah, because there's so many but how mad is this, right? So many people have different perceptions of you.
Yeah.
Like this, but I just think that's so crazy.
Like one person might think you're the best person to ever grace the earth.
Yeah.
But other people just hate your guts. And it's like
Can't stand me, want me in the ground. Whoa.
and it's like, right, that's a bit tight. But it's like your friends, they see you as this person that they rely on. You're their best friend. And one thing my friends always say to me is whenever you put yourself down, they say, we wish you could see yourself through the eyes that we see you in.
Yeah.
And that's what I think of. Like, I'm like, some people love me, some people hate me, and that's absolutely fine.
I'm like Marmite. I'm an acquired taste.
I'm definitely an acquired taste. I wind people up. So it's like, well, some people are walking a room, they'll be like, oh God, she's here again.
No, I think some people, like, you know, do say, oh, she's a pain in the ass. You know, I've been called that before.
By our manager.
Mentioning no names.
No names.
Our
mentioned at
manager.
all.
Yeah, like, I think, you know, I can be quite a loud personality, but I think you have to get to know me to.
You've got a shell.
Yeah. I think we both have a shell, though.
When I first met you, to be fair,
what did you think I was like? I think it's because I was going through heartbreak at the time.
we both didn't want to speak to each other, and we just walked past each other, and it's like that awkward, like you just go,
You're right.
and nod. And then I don't know how we ended up coming out of our shell, but now there's no shutting us up.
Yeah, just here. Right. Female health. We're going to talk about that now.
Okay.
So how, I mean, I did send you this on chat. So
You did?
If you do remember, hats off to you. If you don't, you know,
I remember our conversations.
I wouldn't, you know, expect you to remember the percentage. Do you know?
Oh God, you are actually putting me under pressure now.
Yeah.
I remember the conversation. I don't remember the percentage.
Do you know the percentage of which is funded, like the funds, so like the healthcare funds female healthcare?
I feel like I remember you saying it was like less than 2% or 2% or something.
Bingo. Well
See?
done.
I pay attention. I do.
Well done.
You bet you think I just go on our chats and just go, oh, she's messaging me again. Let me
She
swipe
messaged me again.
off.
I got random crap. Yeah, 2%.
Which is ridiculous.
2% of it is like pregnancy, childbirth, anything like gynecology. Like 2%.
2%. And it's like, why?
I know. There's it was in the teens. I want to say it was either like 14% or 18%. Do, you know, put in the comments if it is wrong. But I remember reading that like 14 or 18%, something like that, there's more studies on like erectile dysfunction than there is on female health. Yeah. Then, you know, I just think that's absolutely wild.
I feel like when women have problems with their health now, they're almost like shut down on it, and they feel like there's no way to get the help they need, like endometriosis, PCOS. There's not enough research into it. And I've seen videos on TikTok of women that are literally debilitated by it, and they can't get that help. And it's like, what do women have to do to be taken seriously that this is a real problem?
Exactly. Like, I just think it's just so wild that, you know, I'm going to talk about the copper coil. You know, I've had both coils. I've had both copper and marina.
Which one was the one that gave, like, you were really struggling when you had one of the coils?
The copper one. You know what? To be fair, with both of them, I found the marina coil. Do you remember when I told you it felt like it was coming out of me?
Yes.
And they were just like, no, it's not. Don't be
You were
stupid.
slouched over, weren't you, in agony? And I just remember thinking, not for me.
Yeah.
Not
no
for me.
way. But yeah, like, they don't even give you anaesthetic. And I've seen before, like, I was speaking to my cousin about it, who has a 5-year-old child. She said, I'd rather give birth again than have to go through that pain.
And if that doesn't tell you how painful it is, I don't know what does.
Exactly. Even, you know what, like, you know, talking about contraception on that line.
Nice segue.
Nice little segue there. Like, I had the implant. And she didn't numb my arm properly, and it was the worst pain again I've ever felt in my life. But this is what I mean. And you know what? I went to the clinic once to, go through a checkup, and we were talking about contraception, and she was like, oh, have this injection. And I was like, right, okay. And then I said, oh, it's so annoying that there's no like male contraception. And she was like, well, would you trust a man if he said he took the pill? And I was like, well, yeah, as much as, I'd be like, oh, whatever. But why should it be on us to do that?
It's the way society is, isn't it? That women have to do these things and whatever. Whereas I think if I didn't want to have a baby, I'd be telling my partner to get the snip.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. That like when they have the snip as well, that's full on like, oh, surgery anaesthetic, like do that. Whereas, that coil was the worst pain I've ever felt in my whole life.
At least when you have a baby in the future.
I know, it's prepping me, isn't it?
You're going to think that's a breeze.
No, defo. And did you know that endometriosis, it takes 8 to 10 years to be diagnosed?
Which is just ridiculous. I feel like some things are very quick to diagnose, and some things, like, it's just when someone's coming to you, presenting these things, why is it taking 8 to 10 years?
I know.
It shouldn't take that long.
Like, I just think it's insane. Like, I think especially with going to the GP as well, I just feel like I get dismissed a lot because it's like, oh, don't be silly, it's your hormones. Oh, don't be silly, you're just overthinking it. And I'm like, am I? So that's why I don't go to the doctors anymore, really.
I don't like going to the doctors because I went not long ago and I was struggling with my anxiety. I went in and it was a 5-minute appointment. I'm not even joking. I walked in, sat down, said I had anxiety, and they prescribed me something, but they didn't know. I haven't been, because I tend to put off going to the doctors whenever because I'm like, I don't want to waste anyone's time for something that I might not need help for, whatever.
And it takes ages to get an appointment as well.
To be fair, mine wasn't that bad last time. I got one the same day.
What?
I was really lucky. I don't know what it was.
Winning the lottery.
Honestly, I was like, they were like, do you want an appointment at 2 o'clock? I was like, yes, I'll have an appointment at 2 o'clock. But I went in and within 5 minutes, I'd pretty much got a diagnosis like of anxiety. And they were like, it could be hormonal, blah, blah, blah. And they gave me some medication. And that medication was not for me. Like, it just didn't help.
Did you come off it in the end then?
I did come off it.
Did you?
Yeah. It was making me feel nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it does numb your emotions. And we are talking about sertraline, by the way. I know there's a lot of people. This is what they're doing, though. There's a lot of people on sertraline.
I just thought, I know they say you have to leave it a certain amount of weeks for it to sort of have its full effect. But even in the short space I took it, I think it was like 2.5 weeks, which I know is not that long. But I didn't feel anything. And I was like, I like feeling my emotions. Like, love having a happy cry, love having a sad cry. I mean, you need to get it out somehow.
No, defo. Like, I think it's part of human experience to have emotions. But see, I'm the other end of the spectrum with that. Like, I can't regulate my emotions because if I'm not on that medication, you've seen how, meltdowny I can become. To me, like, it's like a lifeline. But then there's another taboo with that. There's another taboo with antidepressants, because I remember being younger, like 16, 17, going on them, and my mum was like, you don't need those happy pills. And I was just like, well, if my caregiver's telling me I don't need them. But then I look at them now and I'm like, my cousin's cousin actually had a good outlook on it. She was like, these pills, how amazing is science, like, to help me like stay alive and stay normal.
Yeah. And for some people it works.
Yeah.
Some people it doesn't.
Well, it's not a one size fits all.
It's finding that what suits you. Like, medication wasn't for me, but it saves you. So it's like, it shows the difference things can have on different people.
No, definitely. So steering away now from female health, I want to talk about sobriety. What do you think about being sober? Like, what are your opinions on it?
I don't think you need to have alcohol to have fun. I went through a bit of a party phase when I was 18, clubbing when I went to uni, and I think I overdid it. And now I don't have any desire to drink. None of my friends drink, like, just out of choice. We all kind of like to. I'd rather have a chilled night in with my girls, have a takeaway, watch a film, and then go out on a walk the next morning or something. I hate anxiety. I used to wake up the next morning and I'd be like, what have I done? how leathered was I? And I just, now I look at it now, I'm like, I don't miss it at all. I don't have any FOMO. Whereas a lot of people be like, oh, go on, have a drink. And I was never pressured by that because I was like, I don't want to. I just think our generation, I saw a thing on Instagram and it was saying Gen Z is the generation that have drank the least alcohol. Like most of the 18 to 21 year olds don't drink anymore.
Because we're all vaping.
Oh God, don't get me started on that one. We're not vaping.
We're not vaping. But no, completely agree. I just think, right, you're paying what, a tenner to get into the club. You're paying it's dirty, it's sticky, it's smelly. Even if you go to a nice club, right? So you go to the clubs where, I want to say China White, where, the footballers are and all that. But I feel like when I walk in there, when I've been previously, I've not been in the past 2 years, I just felt like I was getting stared at by these girls being like, you can't afford to be in here. And I'm like, are you joking? Like, what happened to sisters supporting sisters?
And people in clubs are aggressive. Like, people barging past you.
I know, they're like,
excuse me.
I'm like, I've done anything wrong.
And when I've had one too many drinks, someone will push into me. And I'll go, does excuse me not exist? Yeah. And I start getting aggy and I'm like, why am I becoming aggy with someone? Because I would never do that when I'm sober.
I know, I wouldn't say boo to a goose, I'm sorry.
No. But it's just people, the clubbing mentality as it was, it's dying out. I think clubbing is dying out. Everyone wants to be wholesome.
Everyone wants to be chill. Like, everyone, you know what? My favourite part of a night out was the takeaway.
Getting a kebab at the end of the night and chips.
Absolutely. Oh my God, is it raining?
It's raining outside now.
It's raining. It
was lovely and sunny before.
Lovely, yeah. You had to have the aircon on, it was that hot.
It was so hot in here. It was roasting.
Sweltering. Your mum's washing.
Do you think we should go get the washing in?
I feel like we need to bring the washing in.
Okay, right, let's go get the washing in.
We're just going to
be back
to bring the washing in.
Because otherwise my mum will shout at me.
Yeah, nobody wants wet washing. No. Especially when you've just put it out.
My mum will be like, you were watching it and you didn't get the washing in, so...
You don't want to redo that washing.
No.
We'll be back.
And we're now back after getting the washing in. And I actually wanted to bring up a topic with you, Rach, that
Go on.
I know something's looming and it's the end of uni. Mm-hmm. I graduated last year and I wanted to ask how you're feeling about sort of finishing the last chapter of uni. Like the last 3 years of your life have been academics and stuff. So how are you feeling about being done?
I am actually excited to be done with the academic side because I'm just kind of fed up now. Like, it's the last push and, seeing other people and what they're doing and then telling them what I'm doing, and some of them are kind of like not really understanding what I'm actually doing. But I think I'm going to miss the social side. I'm going to miss living with my friends and seeing my friends off my course and just like being in Liverpool. I feel like I am going to miss it, but I've missed the countryside, man.
I love being in the countryside. Living with nothing around us.
Yeah.
It's just peaceful and quiet. But then you also miss the aspects of uni where you're so close to a big city. And because we live quite far out from, obviously we're classed as, well, people will call us fake Manx because we're from Stockport. But
were you born in Manchester?
I was born in Wythenshawe.
Were you?
Wythenshawe.
I was born in St Mary's in Manchester.
So you're actually a Manchester girl.
Because my dad wanted to see the view of Main Road from the window.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, I told you a story about me being called Rebecca. Yeah. So basically, I was meant to be called Rebecca, and David Beckham played for United at the time, and the midwife was called Bex, and my dad was like, "Oh, Rebecca, what do they call you?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah, that's my nickname, Bex." And he went, "No way am I having a kid named after David Beckham."
Do you know what though? I respect it. My dad wouldn't do that either because my family are blue through and through.
I was going to say we're big. See, my mum's family are red. My mum's family are red. I know.
Can't be having that. Can't be having that. It's just, for me, when I left uni, because I moved home in my second year and commuted because I went to Salford.
How did you find that then? How did you find, were there ever times where you'd look at your timetable and be like, because we've all done it, I'm not going in.
I did do that. I'm not going to lie, I did do that.
Everybody does it.
I kind of thought with commuting, so it's from my house to, I was at Media City, so I studied at Media City. I wasn't in very often, I was in 3 days a week. One was for like an hour, And it was a Friday
You
at
went
3
all
o'clock.
the way to
No, I did not go. No,
bloody hell.
I used to not go to that one because I was like, oh, an hour and then coming back in rush hour traffic past the Trafford Centre, not a chance. But then I also had news days because I did journalism. So I'd spend from 9 till 6 at uni, and that day felt productive. But it had its pros and cons because I got to come home to my home comforts and I'd still see my friends that were at home. But then everyone else who was going out and living in town, whenever they would go out, I'd have to go home and an Uber would cost me like 50 quid and I'd be like, oh, this is not worth it.
Bloody hell, is it heck?
But I think commuting was the best thing for me because I kind of got distracted when I was living in of not doing anything and not having any routine. And for me now, like if you look at me now, like with my job and stuff, and I get up at about 7 a.m. every morning, which obviously isn't that early, but I get up at the same time every day. I have a routine, I'm productive, and I go to bed at about 9 o'clock because I'm like a grandma now. I'm only 21 and I feel like a grandma.
See, I love that though. Like that's what I think I can't wait for, because being a student, or as I call it, being a dosser, you know, obviously I'm working and, you know, I am trying to do that. But then at the same time, like there are days where I will probably get up at like 11. Like the earliest I get up is 10.
That's what you need though.
Oh no, it's not. It's 8. I get up at 8.
There we go.
Well, 3:30 on a Saturday. But
love the early start on a Saturday morning.
4:30 in the morning, you know.
That's why I'm glad I do lates. Doing lates is what I need.
See, well, this is why, again, like, I do prefer doing that later start. And, like, that's why when I'm thinking about, obviously, the 9 to 5, when I go into that, you know, I won't be getting up until 7. And to me, that's still more of a lie-in than obviously getting up at 4:30 in the morning.
100%. It's the routine that you need, but when you finish uni, I'm going to prepare you. It's such an anticlimax. Because I finished on a random Tuesday and I had a shift at Tesco. So I submitted my assignment at 2 o'clock and then at 3 o'clock I was in Tesco. Walked in, I was like, I finished my uni, guys. I finished it. And it just felt like you finish and you're gone. It's such a weird feeling because you go from having that academic pressure for years to then nothing.
Yeah.
And like now when I finish work, because I do 8-4s at my other job, when I finish that, I don't have to worry about anything. And it's like when it's uni, you're just constantly thinking, right, I need to do this, I've got this deadline. And now it's just like, I enjoy it. The only thing I miss is the long holidays. Having to book in my holidays. I've booked my holiday in an amount of days already. I'm thinking, this is not okay.
It's like Elizabeth, obviously, my sister lives in Australia currently.
She's living the dream.
Yeah, she actually is living her best life, living in Sydney. She's like, oh, come over. And I'm like,
come over?
Well, I've got to book it off work.
It's not a 20-minute journey down the road.
£1,000 the flight cost. And that's cheap.
Wow.
I know.
Is that like a
grand? A grand?
Is that like 50,000 stopovers as well?
It's a stop, like 2. So it's on your overall flights, obviously there and back, it's 2 stops. But even then, it's like 9-hour waits. And I'd be waiting in an airport.
I can't do that.
I can't because I get so fidgety and I get so bloody bored.
Sitting in an airport, you know how people romanticize the airport? Oh God, for me, I can't think of anything worse than being sat in an airport.
I know.
I'm sat there itching to get on that plane. Don't like flying, so I'm like, don't want to do it. Just want to get to my end destination.
That's what I mean. I can't cope. Like people that get to the airport dead early. I just think, what are you doing? Like,
I had to get to the airport early for my holiday last year. Right. We got there so early and we were sat in the airport. It was 7 a.m. I was having a KFC. I was having popcorn chicken. And I was thinking, do you know what though? Time's not real in an airport. No, people were drinking tequila. I was like, right, me and my KFC and chicken gravy isn't that bad.
Yeah, I can't deal with, it's just, people that get there, right, 3 hours before the flight leaves, you've walked through security, it's not even busy. And I think, well, what now? I'm paying 15 quid for a pizza that you've got out the bloody freezer.
Getting a water and it's like 7 quid for a bottle of water. And you're thinking, I'd rather die of thirst than pay that.
You know what does me head in about airports? Why is there no like actual good shops? Like, I don't want to buy a meal deal from WH Smith.
No.
Give me a Tesco.
No.
Give me a Tesco.
Give us a Tesco with our club card.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We'd be rinsing it.
Oh, well and truly. But even just something like, I don't want a Boots meal deal.
No.
Boots meal deal.
They just need like an actual they'd make so much money as well.
I know.
Or the restaurants as well. I don't want a full English breakfast because I'm a nervous flyer. So I don't want to have a big meal before I get on that plane because I'm like, all I'm going to be thinking is that I'm going to be sick on that plane. So I'm like, no.
Right. Bit of a TMI question. When you're on a plane, do you ever feel like you're getting gassed up? Because I do. Like, I get really bad, like, whatever it's called. You know, like, I just feel cramping, like, in my intestines, and it hurts.
I kind of get what you mean. Like, when you're on a plane,
I know, obviously,
I think it's all about the air pressure and everything.
Yeah.
It just messes you up a little bit.
It hurts. Like, I get off that plane, and at the night time, I'm massaging my belly because it's painful. That much. Yeah.
I just don't, the whole thing of planes, it creeps me out a bit. I don't like them. I will not use a plane toilet. Not a chance.
That terrified me as a kid. Even now, I
just don't want to go on it. I'd rather not. And it's just,
I'd rather not.
I genuinely, I say that as if I go on a load of planes, but whenever I go on holiday, I'm like, I'll hold it. I just don't want to. Plane toilets are minging.
They are minging, and the bluey water.
And the flush, when you flush. I understand what you mean about the flush. It's terrifying.
It is scary.
It goes whoosh, that dead loud.
And as well, with that toilet, there's always queues, and I'm too scared as well. I'll get up and then
put the seatbelt sign on. They always do that for me.
Like, leave me alone.
I think my brother once, we were flying to America, but we had to get a stopover in London. 20-minute flight, and my brother could not hold his bladder. He needed the toilet. And you pretty much go up and down. So he goes to the toilet, and then the landing thing came on and the seatbelt's time. So he's in the toilet, the plane's going like that. I was like, could you not have held your bladder for 10 more minutes? But we're still here to tell the tale, so.
Flight delays. I hate flight delays. I remember.
It's just an inconvenience. And they always say you can get compensation, but you never can.
I got compo.
I didn't.
I was very happy.
I was delayed for like 3 hours, and I was like, I put in the form, and they're like, no. I was like, what do you mean?
What do you mean I can't have any? I went through these aviation people. Martin Lewis helped me with that. Not personally, obviously. You know, he supports City.
Does he?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's from
What a guy. Money saving,
City. Or somewhere like that. I know.
Good guy.
I know. What a G. But no, I remember I had to go through these aviation people. It took months. And because I did...
Is it worth the faff of waiting months though? Do you know what I mean?
520 quid, of
okay.
course. It was
that is worth it. That is worth it.
Faff because
I thought you were going to say it was like 20 quid or something.
No, 520. And I didn't even pay for the flight. It was
Why didn't you pay for the flight?
Because I went to Canada with uni, didn't I?
Oh, so you got compensation on a flight you didn't pay for?
Well,
wow.
I emailed them and I said, listen, like, can I claim compensation even though I've not bought this flight? And they were like, yeah. So
there you go.
And I was absolutely skint when I came back from that holiday. So I was buzzing.
You were buzzing.
I was absolutely buzzing for 520 quid. I had to pay my house rent with it at the time. Do
you know what though? It's an extra money that, you didn't think you were going to get.
Well, exactly.
So it's worth it.
This is why, as well, leading on to money you didn't think you'd get.
You're so proud of these segues.
I know. Leading on to, getting money when you'd least expect it. What do you think about, like, we're going to talk about witch talk, laws of attraction, all that stuff. What do you think about it?
I don't even know what it is.
Do you not see it on TikTok where it's like, I think the word manifestation gets thrown around like sweets nowadays.
Yeah, my TikTok's very different to what you think it'd be. It's all like...
It's just people dancing.
No, it's not people dancing. Who do you think I am?
Is it people cooking?
There's some people, like, when people do their dinner videos, dishing up dinner, some of them
look rank, I don't think.
Yeah, some of them look rank, some of them look really nice.
Yeah, some of them look good. I like the one where it's the guy outside. Where he's in the forest. Outside. Guy in the forest, he was on the Tesco advert as well on TikTok.
Never seen him. But my TikTok's full of like concerts and stuff and singers.
Is it?
My TikTok's very boring.
After Sabby C?
After Sabby C.
Is that when it changed, or has it always been like that?
Oh, it's not always been like that. Sometimes it changes. If I went onto my TikTok now, a lot of it's...
I'm going to say, I want to see what mine is. Mine's always just funny, silly videos.
Oh, here's the advert coming up. That's my cousin. Oh, loads of tops. TikTok shop.
Sick of seeing this TikTok bloody shop. Marc Jacobs, not an old white frail man who loved fashion. That was my first top.
Mine's Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know if you can see that.
Mine's is Ellie and Batch.
The Juno position.
Look at
she
that.
did a skiing one.
Yeah. Bloody hell, Sabby.
I feel like my algorithms are not that great. Or it's like, there was a point where I was obsessed with colouring and my whole TikTok was full of colouring. But your phones listen to you.
They do. They actually do. Because I really want a Wingstop. You watch, I'll be getting
an ad for Wingstop.
Yeah, TikTok's about people eating Wingstop.
Do you know what? Let you get an ad for Wingstop.
I know. Does it not?
Are we going to Wingstop after this? I'm guessing. Are you wanting a Wingstop?
Wingstop.
I'll take you to Wingstop.
I love a Wingstop. So give me a Wingstop order.
Oh.
Do you go bones or boneless?
Oh no, boneless. Don't like bones.
I know.
But I'm also very fussy. You know me. I'm fussy with meat. So
Well, they don't.
you guys don't know. I'm very fussy with meat. I don't eat mincemeat. It creeps me out.
It freaks me out. That's dog food.
Chicken. I went through a phase of eating only shredded chicken, and I know it's the same, but to me, in my mind, it tasted different. So from Wingstop, I'll get the boneless, either the boneless like bite things or the boneless tenders.
I get both.
I love that, but I don't want no plain food. Like I don't want, you know, when people go to Nando's and get plain, I'm thinking there's
Plain
no point
with ketchup.
Yeah, what's the point? You can make that at home. Don't go to Nando's and get plain.
Exactly.
My boyfriend, he went, I'm going to get plain. And I went, I'm not coming to Nando's with you if you get plain. So he got Perry Tamer, bless him. And I was like, okay,
Oh,
that's
stop.
fine. But he had my medium and he was gasping for air. But at Wingstop, I get the hickory smoked barbecue. And unpopular, for my dip, I get honey mustard. I don't like ranch.
See, I like Wingstop's ranch.
No.
I'm not massive on ranch.
Ranch is minging. It tastes like sour cream.
Oh, I love sour cream.
I like sour cream and onion Pringles.
Did you never have the sour cream and chive dip from McDonald's?
No.
Oh,
I've always been a barbecue.
see,
I cannot go wrong, but they changed it. And I remember when I was younger, it really upset me. I was like, they've changed the recipe.
It used to be quite smoky, I think, and
now it's like quite
spicy,
sweet.
and it's it is.
Tastes all sugary now.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't like barbecue.
Barbecue's great.
You can either get a good barbecue or you either get like the sweet barbecue.
Too like almost bitter.
Yeah, my mouth is literally watering.
You're thinking of wings. All you're going to be
Honestly.
hearing is you salivating over the microphone. Like,
Honestly. Well, what other one do you get? So if you got the barbecue for your boneless tenders, what do you get for your little wingy bites?
well, I don't. I just get the tenders on its own.
Yeah, but if you were going to get the wingy bites,
Well, I don't know what the other spices are.
have you not had have you not had the garlic and parmesan?
I feel like that's too basic.
No, it's not. It's so flavourful.
No.
Garlic parmesan, lemon pepper, apparently the mango habaneros.
I'd want to try. I know this sounds like I'm being a pick me, but I actually do want to try the Atomic because people say it's so spicy that it ruins it. But I want to try it just to see what it tastes like.
Yeah.
But then I know I'd be the biggest whinge ever and be like, it's too spicy.
It's spicy.
Why is it spicy?
Spicy one you are. No, but I really, there's a Brazilian flavour, isn't there? I kind of want to, I've heard that's meant to be a really good one.
We're just going to get a feast when we go, aren't we? Just a whole like plate.
Oh,
full.
absolutely.
Are we going to eat in?
I've never actually been in.
Okay, we'll go to Parswood, we'll eat in.
I mean, I've only been once. So I've not been once.
Yeah, because we were talking about it at work.
Yeah.
And you went, I've never had Wingstop. And I was like, right, I'll take you to take your Wingstop virginity. Because you need to try
I've
it.
never been in. I've only had it as
The one at the
takeaway.
Trafford Centre is the Trenches. It's awful in there. It's so busy all the time.
I can't even imagine.
Whereas
Trafford
one-
Centre is the trenches.
Well, I just think that loads of places are. I went to Tesco to get Mother's Day flowers today. Honestly, I've never seen so many people. And I'm walking around thinking I'm the main character. I'm like, why are these people in my way? Because people just don't have etiquette in the shops.
Do they heck?
Standing
They look
in
at
the
you
middle
and
of the aisle.
spit on you.
They're walking in and I'm like, can you please move out the way?
Once someone pushed a trolley into me and just didn't say anything. I was like, excuse me. People just don't have etiquette nowadays.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Where do you think you're ramming that trolley? I was like, oh, did you hear that crack there?
Yeah.
That's my foot. I love a good crack.
Love a good back crack. I crack like a glow
Ooh,
stick.
back crack.
I
Butt
could try
crack.
it now, but it's like too. I feel like it's too
Too cracky.
too
Too
like,
loud.
I could do my neck. I could do my back.
Oh my god.
I'm like a glow stick.
It's a free ASMR.
What can I say? I just need to move the microphone to near my back.
Oh my god, I wish I could do that.
You can do it.
I can't.
Just move your back around.
Yeah, that ain't working.
You just turn
Ooh,
and
my back.
funny twinge.
Yeah. You know I have back issues. God, I sound like I'm about 50. No, but Tesco is the one place to avoid. Any supermarket.
On a weekend.
On a weekend. And
Sunday.
especially Sunday.
Near 4 o'clock.
No.
Oh God, I've got this ring stuck on my finger.
Sunday and any holiday. So Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember it at Christmas?
You sent me a
when
picture.
I say El Ramod, it was so busy.
So busy.
I can actually insert a picture on screen. So I'll actually insert that.
But I actually want to talk to you about something. Social media. I know everyone sort of has a love-hate relationship with it. What are your sort of general feelings towards obviously I know everyone thinks it, like the idea that everything should be perfect on social media and you portray this amazing life and stuff. What do you think of that? And like I saw one of your posts about the clean girl aesthetic. How do you sort of see that as damaging to young people? And like, I remember we were going to talk about kids having skincare. Like, what do you think of these 8, 9, 10-year-old girls and boys having a 10-step skincare routine when their pores haven't even opened yet?
No. Well, I think, you know, I grew up watching Zoella.
Love Zoella. I still watch Zoella sometimes.
I do
she did her Vlogmas.
She does all the family videos, and I think it's dead cute. So obviously I grew up watching Zoella, Tanya Burr, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, their skincare, like, it wasn't... Oh, bless you.
It came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Sorry, continue.
Sorry, don't worry. But they just use simples, right? And I'm not going to lie, when I was in year 7, right, obviously trial and error with makeup, I used to rob my nan's concealer stick, which was a Maybelline one. It looked like a lipstick. I actually feel really mean when I think back, because I thought, oh, she was probably wondering where that went, and it was you. And it was me.
You little thief.
I know. I used to wear black eyeliner underneath my eye, like on my waterline. You know what I used to set my face with? Hairspray.
Oh, mate.
But this is what I mean. Back in the day, like, there weren't any kind of videos catered towards, my skincare. If there was, then they either used like simple gel wash, simple moisturizer.
I keep mine simple now. I think
simple keeps it
when
simple.
I use more products on my face,
the worse it gets.
I break out.
Yeah.
The purge is real. So sometimes I'll just splash my face with water to clean it. Then I'll use what's the word? Gentle,
Cleanser?
Face wash.
Oh yeah.
And then moisturise. And my skin is probably the clearest it's been in months because I've not been using, I was using retinol and using hyaluronic acid. And all of it just made my skin horrific. It made it dry. It made it horrible. And no matter how much moisturiser and stuff I was putting on, it was awful.
No, I just think like these kids, they're spending more money than me on skincare. They've got more of a routine than I do.
Some of these kids have better makeup than me. I look and I see all these like Dior makeup and I'm thinking...
Drunk Elephant, all that. I just think, one, where have you got the money for it? And two, how can you be bothered? Like when I was their age, I was filming video stars on my iPad.
So was I. Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. That was my tune.
I used the Dance Moms people, like their songs. That Kendall Vertes, what was her song? It was like an army one. And I can still remember to this day, I was doing a kick and my phone buzzed and fell in a dirty bucket of water. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to get a new phone. I honestly put it in rice. I absolutely shit myself. But this is what I mean, these kids, they've got everything.
And they're all... That's why I'm kind of glad we grew up we're like the last generation that grew up without social media, but also the introduction to social media where we know how all of it works like the back of our hand. But like this is not in a weird way, but you don't see kids playing out anymore. No, you don't see kids. Do you know what I mean?
Riding bikes.
I used to go out and walk because I lived in Bramall and I used to walk into Bramall Village. And it was nice to do that. And nowadays I'm thinking, all these kids are out just sitting on their phones. And I know I sound like a proper like Karen right now, but like even now when I'm out with my friends, I like to not be on my phone. I like to actually be present in the moment. And I feel like that's what's being forgotten about. Because these kids are getting phones. I see kids with better phones than me.
And vapes.
And vapes, yeah.
And bloody vapes.
I'm
like, well, this is the issue.
I used to hold my breath going past people that smoked and vaped, and now I'm a vapor.
No one. And I'm a vapor. Like, these kids, though, will never experience what it was like to, just be able to live freely without having to worry really about anything.
Not having that pressure.
Yeah. Now, this is where the thing with the clean girl aesthetic came in, because I just thought, I'm absolutely sick to death of seeing all these different, I'm a golden retriever. This is what I do. Like, as in, you've got the golden retriever boyfriend and the black cat girlfriend. Yeah. And this is how you dress this way. And I think overconsumption is killing us.
Yeah, 100%.
Marketing.
I just think I am at an age now where my phone doesn't interest me as much. Like, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't go on my phone, because I do. And anyone that says they're not on the phone all the time is lying.
Yeah.
Everyone has their phone on them at all times. But I also like switching off from it, and because doom scrolling, I could doom scroll for 4 hours on TikTok And I will sit and look at my phone and be like, oh my God, it's 10 o'clock at night and I've just sat here for 4 hours. I could have been doing something so much more productive.
I just find that my mind absolutely numbs. Like, I can't sit and watch it anymore. You know, this is where I want to come on to books as well. So obviously I've been reading that Court of Thorn and Roses, finished it in 3 days. In love with the main character,
Is that
one of the main characters,
Rhysand?
Yeah, Rhysand.
See, I remember you telling me about that.
I'm on the second one now, where she stays with Rhysand. Sorry, any spoilers.
You need to put a spoiler alert on the screen.
Yeah, I will. But obviously the bargain and Rhysand and all that. But she is such a whiny bitch. But this is what I think I've missed about reading. Like, I've missed
actually getting into the book.
Like, I want to live as a fairy. I want to be a fairy.
No, but the thing is, I feel like I have books. I cannot finish a book because my mind is so numb to watching 15-second videos. And I just, like, when I go on holiday, I'm going to take a book with me and hopefully read a book and just actually switch off, because I'd like to start reading before I go to bed. I want to do more wholesome things. Like, reading's actually quite enjoyable.
Reading is enjoyable, and it just opens your mind, and
it gets you back to being a kid again.
Yeah,
because you're thinking of these creative things, like,
and these
you're actually picturing the book in your mind.
Well, listen to this. This is how obsessed I got with, like, social media, that, like, I found it difficult to picture what it looked like in my head. Like, unless it was physically in front of me, I couldn't. Like, when it's describing, obviously, the room and the flowers and the main character, I couldn't picture it. I could not picture for the life of me. I'm only getting better at it now, but even so, I still find it kind of difficult. And I think it is because I'm so used to everything being in front of me.
Yeah.
TikTok, show me what's
And also just, like, plain black and white, it just tells you on TikTok, like, all these videos.
Well, you've got to kind of work it out for yourself with a book, and that's kind of what's beautiful about it as well, because it's down to your own interpretation.
And I love that.
I do
need to get into reading. It's just my attention span. It's just, I need to build it up, because otherwise I can't pay attention for long enough.
No,
I think of everything else I could be doing.
But then I also don't pressure yourself.
No, and I kind of think of, when I think of other things I want to do, I'm like, should I clean my room? Shall I do this? Shall I do this?
No, I'll doom scroll.
I'll doom scroll instead, and then I'll charge my phone up just so it's got enough charge so I can unplug it and roll over onto the other side.
No.
That's how lazy I am.
I plug mine in my laptop now. Like, I'll have my laptop on, I know. But it's convenient, because then I can obviously charge my laptop whilst I'm in bed, charge my watch, because I've got one of those weird plugs. And then obviously I charge my phone off the laptop, so they're all charging together. But I try to keep away from it, because they do say that the blue light is, affecting our eyes.
I saw a thing that said you should have it
sleep
1.5 centimetres away from you when you're sleeping.
Well, I'll show you as well. You should really have your screen on red. So I'll show you what I've done. If I double click 3 times, it turns red.
How do you You're going to have to show me how to do that.
Oh, it's just an accessibility thing, but they say you should keep it on between the hours of, like, 6 p.m. till 8 a.m.
And they say you shouldn't be on your phone for half an hour before you go to bed, which I know.
No, I think it's an hour.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't do that. I'm on my phone till the last minute I go to bed.
But then I think I do find it hard to switch off. So I do think as well, to get into a good night routine, like good sleep hygiene.
Yeah.
Is
100%.
Definitely.
I try and go to bed at the same time every night. But
you do good with that, though.
I do all right. But because I work till 11 on a Monday,
yeah,
I then have to make sure the rest of my schedule aligns with that. Because otherwise, if I'm going to bed at 9 p.m. one night, I can't stay up till 11 the next day at Tesco. So I'm like, But away from social media and reading, what do you like to do to sort of clear your mind? What's your favourite things to do?
I like meditation. I have been finding it difficult doing it because I have been very erratic recently with obviously so much work to do, but...
And that's normal though.
Meditation. What do you do? I know you did your colouring.
That was a phase, and I spent like £100 on colouring books, and now I don't like colouring anymore. But I like to go on walks.
Yeah.
I go on walks with my friends. I like to... Do you know what? For me, it's quality time with people I care about. So I'm very lucky that one of my best friends lives next door. So he comes over all the time. You really want that Wingstop, don't you?
No, my belly's on a mad one.
But even if it's just going and sitting and chatting for an hour, or going out for a drive and listening to some music, walking's my favourite thing. I definitely like to go walking. And if I could go every day, I would. But when the lighter days are here, I'm going to start going for walks in the evening.
Yeah.
I mean, we lose an hour of sleep tomorrow.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
We're both going to be moody tomorrow.
Don't even get me started on that.
Just get up an hour later.
Yeah, I know, but I've got so much to do tomorrow. It's Mother's Day.
Oh, it's Mother's Day. I forgot about
City are
that.
playing tomorrow.
It's not really Mother's Day in my house, then City are playing.
Yeah. Focus around the football.
Yeah, 100%.
So what's one thing then, just to wrap things up, what's one thing that you're going to focus on? What are you going to focus in on?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You, Fem, in focus. What are you going to focus on for the week? And then we'll come back together and we will talk about what you've been focusing on.
I don't know. I think it's not just for the week. I think it's in general.
Okay.
Protecting my own peace, because I'm a massive people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say yes to everyone, even if it's to the detriment of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more putting myself number one rather than other people. And I'm getting better.
You are getting better at it.
But I used to say yes to everyone, to everything. And I still do a lot of the time, but putting myself first and doing things I want to do rather than doing what other people want to do first.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means I get a bit of FOMO, that means I get a bit of FOMO, because I want to enjoy what I want to do.
Well, I want an example of that next week. I want an example. Just one.
I'll say no to you.
Only one. Yeah, but I'll have to do it on my own.
I'll say no, I won't come back next week.
Like, okay, fine then. I want to finish my book. I know that sounds really, really, like, you know, yours is actually thoughtful and meaningful. Mine's just finishing my book.
How many pages have you got left?
I think it's like 600 pages.
Oh, right.
I'm on like
Wow.
100 and something though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm getting right through it. And I only started it like, when did I start it? Friday.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm reading one about, sorry, I know we said we're finishing,
No,
but
go on, no.
you know that documentary on Disney?
Which one?
Sherry Frankie, the Ruby Frankie, the YouTube vlogger mum.
The one that was the Mormon.
Yeah.
The kid jumped out of the house or something. Kid ran to the next door
Kid ran
neighbour.
to the next door
Yeah.
neighbour. The daughter, so her daughter wrote an not an autobiography.
Belly. I can't cope.
Her daughter wrote an biography,
Mm-hmm.
and it was about her experience growing up in the YouTube family vlogger life.
Yeah.
And it's been in my room for months, and I've not touched it. And I really want to start reading it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be ready to read it, because I'm like, I actually want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Be there
Be
to
able
read
to
it.
be present.
But I feel like that's for me, that autobiographical books are for me, because I feel like I can actually.
You can, you're learning something as well about something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whereas this is obviously more of a fantasy.
Fairies.
Fairy porn. It's been a bit tame, yeah. Apparently it does get a bit more heated.
Well, I know someone that read it and they were obsessed as well.
Well, there we go. My sister was obsessed as well, so I
There
know
we go.
full well.
I won't be reading it. Fairies are not for me.
See, I didn't think they were for me, but
Now you're
I'm
obsessed with
telling you.
fairies.
I'm telling you, I want to be a fairy. Oh, there's a magpie out there.
Salute the magpie.
Do you sleep the magpie?
No, but whenever I'm with you, I do. Because you always say to me, you go, salute the magpie. I'm like, okay.
Hello, Mr. Magpie. How's your wife? That's what my mum always.
How's your wife?
Yeah, how's your wife? Oh, hello, Mrs. Magpie. How's your husband? Don't know. I don't know the saying. Don't know the ins and outs.
Proper, what's it called? Superstitious.
You know what? We can do a topic about that next week.
Very
Get that on my list.
superstitious.
Writings on the wall. Right. To wrap things up, I have been Rachel Rigby.
And I've been Phoebe McHugh.
And this has been the Femmes in Focus. We'll see you next week. Remember to subscribe, like, and hit the 5-star rating. See you next week.
Bye.